Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can make your borders. Why is borders so important? Because it makes your drawing look more neater. Let's say in this example, if I were to remove my border and I would preview my drawing, as you can see, this drawing looks very plain and simple. It is not that nice for the one who's reading it because you cannot see any your parameters is gone. Like you don't see where your drawing begins and where it ends. Now, if I were to have my border, let's go back, undo. I will press on preview once more. Here you can see with my borders, it looks much neater. You can see that here I have my margin and you can see where my drawing begins, which is the inner rectangle. So let's get into this video, guys. Welcome back, guys. And first of all, before we begin making our borders, we would have to know what are our standard paper sizes. In AutoCAD, I mostly use A0, A1, A2, A3, and A4. Of course, I have until A10, but these are the most common that you will be using, which I actually use. So these are the sizes. For example, the A4 is 210 by 297, A3 297 by 420, A2 420 by 594, A1 594 by 841, and the A0 is 841 by 1189. So these are your standard paper sizes, and these are actually your border sizes also. You want to stick to these sizes because you don't want your border to exceed the standard paper sizes, because then it will be bigger than your standard paper. So you won't be, when you print it, pieces of your drawing will just be missing. So this is why we stick to standard paper sizes, and that is the reason why I've collected this information. So now let's go into your drawing that you used in my last tutorial. I used this drawing, set up YouTube, and in this drawing for you to open this drawing, because in this drawing, remember, we had our borders set up, we had our measurements set up already. So that's why I want you to open this drawing that is already preset with the basic things that we need to continue. So first of all, let us make our A4 border. Let us start with the Home tab, and then you click on Rectangle, and you would have to have your dynamic input on and also your line width on so that you can see what you are doing. So let's start. Let us make the A4 border. Of course, the measurements of the A4 paper was 210, and then you press tab by 297. Let us check to make sure. 210 by 297, that is correct. To double check this, if the rectangles is made with the right measurements, you would go on your Home tab and then click on Measure. Click on the corner, one of the corners, and then hover over the next. Do not click, just hover. And here you can see that is 210. When you hover, it will show it briefly, so you would have to look quickly. And here, if you hover here, you see it is 297. So that is correct. You can press either escape or just right click and then press cancel. So here we have our measurements for our A4 paper. Now let's go to our Home tab and then click Offset. And we want an offset of 10. In my own, it is already set to 10. So then it will ask you to specify the offset distance, or that would be 10. Then you click on Enter. And now you want to select the object you want to offset. That will be my rectangle. And now you can either offset it inside or offset it outside. Of course, my first rectangle was the paper size, so I would have to offset it on the inside. So then you would click inside your rectangle. And that is how you do your offset. You can now press cancel or just escape. So 10 is actually a good margin to have. If you want, you can do more or less depending on what you find is good. I find 10 is just perfect. Now we will click on our outside rectangle and go to your properties. If you don't have your properties here on the side already open, just right click and click on properties. And now with your properties tab open, you would have to go to line width. My outside rectangle would be as small as possible. I do not want it to be by layer. We will make it to be 0.00. So it would just say as thin as possible. Why? It is because this line, we want it to be by layer. So that means whatever the width of the layer we are going to put this block in is, this line, this rectangle will inherit that layer, that width, and the color, of course, also. And this line right here, we set it to 0.00. So there will be a constant width size. That is because it will not inherit the layer width size. If you don't really understand what I mean by this, I would suggest you watch my last video that is talking about layers. I'll explain you how layers work and how you can set up your layers properly. So now that we have our two rectangles, I want you to select both of them and then type BL and then press enter. And now we're going to make this as a block. So my block name will be border underscore A4. Pick point will be the right bottom corner of my outside rectangle. And I do not want it to be exploded. So do not allow any exploding. You don't want this because this is your basic. You won't ever have to explode your block of your border block, because it is just a constant. It is a size. It won't be bigger nor smaller. It will just be good just how it is. And then you click OK. And here we have our block, and it's called border A4. Now this block would always be under the layer of border. So here I put it under my layer border. And here you can see, as I said before, my outer rectangle did not inherit my layer, my border layer width. As you can see, it is not as thick of this. It is just very thin. It's because I set it to be 0.00. And this one here, this one is by layer. So whatever the layer width, line width is, it will inherit that same thickness. This will be handy because then you have this nice thick line around your drawing, meaning that that is a barrier, that is the end of your drawing. So you can see where your drawing begins and where it ends. This one will be always cut off. So this is not necessary to have a thick line at the end, because either way, when you print an A4 paper, it will just print to so much. So it is not necessary to waste even your ink to even print that thick line at the end. It is just good as it is, I find. Of course, you can change this if you like, but this is basically how we just did our first border, and this is the A4 border for an A4 paper size. Now moving on to the second border, that is our A3 border. That is this one right here. And we will do it the same way as this one. So now let's click again on rectangle. Let's start in this corner. It would be nice if it just would be parallel or the same on the same line. So first of all, we're going to type the width. That would be 297. And then tab, by, if I'm not mistaken, 420. Let's double check. Yeah, 420. So 297 by 420. So this is our A4 border size. Now we're going to do the same as we did with our A4. Sorry, this is our A3 border size. Now we're going to do offset again. Press enter or spacebar. You're going to click on the inside and then you press escape. Once more, we're going to select the inside, no, sorry, the outside line, and we're going to set the width to 0.00. And once more, select both lines. We're going to type BL for block, press enter. This one is going to call border underscore A3. Base point will be right bottom corner. And the rest is set correctly. Let us click on OK. So now when we select this and we set it to the layer border, it happens the same as the A4 border. You have the inside line will be thicker than the outside line because the outside line is not really necessary to have it thick. Now, the A4, A3 paper is actually a big size paper. So you would have to fold this paper. Normally we fold these papers. And here we can see an example of how it is folded. In the portrait size, it will be fold one like this vertically, and it will be also folded because this part overlaps the A4, so it will always show on the front the A4, and here will be your title block. So you will fold it vertically once and then fold it down. And what I mean by this is an example. Here we can see you fold it vertically and then fold it down. So then eventually your end product will be a A4 size, nice and neat paper. Even though it is not a A4, it's just folded to a A4 size. So here we can see that, of course, the A4, we know it is 210 by 297. So let us go back in this block. Now, to make folding easier, it will be handy if you would also draw a couple of ticks and ticks for the size that to be folded into. So here we will go to line, and I want you to hover over this corner right here and then drag it down without clicking. And then when it snaps to the bottom, then you click. And here, since our margin is 10, I would like you to make this line 5. And then select the line and type M for move. Press enter. And I would like to move it. Let's see how much millimeters will be good. 297. Why 297? As I explained, because here will be your folding, the fold for A4 as we showed you here. Here will be your fold and here will be your fold. So here the paper will be folded here and then it will be folded here also. So now we will do the same for the other side. Drag it all the way now on the side. Then you click, make it 5 millimeters, enter, press escape, select the line, type in M for move, and then you click any corner, it doesn't matter where, just click and then you drag it, and here you can punch in the side or this placement you want it to be. That would be 210 because my paper A4 is 210. Now these lines, you have to also mirror it to the other side. You can also copy it to the other side. If you select it, just press CO, copy, and then I want to copy it from this corner and bring it up, and you click. The same I would do for this one. CO, copy, bring it across, and then click. So as you can see, this is my fold. Here my paper will be folded. It is handy to have it in your border because then you won't need a folding machine. You can actually just put a ruler and just fold it yourself, or put it against a old school, put it against a table and just fold it on those two lines. Those are your guidelines to fold. Now you can also fold the paper landscape view, and then it will just be folded in half. So let's go back to this here, and here we will just select this line. Let's start with this line, CO, copy, and select this corner now. And this corner, we just want to put it in the center. This is my landscape folded line. So my landscape folded guidelines, or my guiding ticks, are on the outside for landscape, and for portrait view it is on the inside. As you can see, it's on the inside. So these two, I will make it very thin. So I will make the line width to 0.00, because the outside is also 0.00, and the inside ones, I want to make those by layer. So the line width will be by layer. That's just a way to see the difference between the landscape view folded guidelines and the portrait folded guideline. And then we're going to close this editor. Yes, I want to save it. And here we can see what will happen. I don't know if you guys find this okay. I find it okay. It's cool that these are thicker. It's not a big deal. So here we have our A3 border. Now let's move on to our next border. First, let's see what measurements are those. The A2 border, that is 420 by 594. Let's go back to our drawing once more. Without clicking, you just extend it. And here we have 420 tab 594. Enter. 420 594. Let's make sure it is the correct size just in case. Click the first corner, 420 594. Okay, it's good. Now let's offset one more time, 10. Enter, select, and click inside, and then press escape. Now here we're gonna do this one time. So the same as this one right here. If you drag it across without clicking, just extend it across, it will be in the middle. So here we have a line of 5 millimeters going left, and the other side will be 5 millimeters going right. Enter. So as you can see, it's the same height as this one because our A4 paper will be here. Let's go back to our example. So in our A2 paper, it has 4 A4 papers in our portrait view. So here also I would want to do one up because it will be folded in half and then again in half. So here we have our guidelines for our portrait view. Now you also want to have those same guidelines for our landscape view. So to do this, let us start right here. Let's see. Our landscape view is on the outside. Yeah, it's on the outside. So first of all, let us draw our first guideline. It will be 5 millimeters long. Enter, escape, and then you select the line, move, and this will be moved to 210 because our A4 paper is 210 in the width. We select this one more time, and also we're gonna copy this line and we're gonna make it again 210. Enter. And now we're gonna select both of them, type copy, CO for copy, and we're gonna copy it from this corner. No, sorry. One more time. Select both lines, type CO for copy, press space. Space means enter. We're gonna select the left corner, and let's copy it to this line right. Oh, no, sorry. Again, I'm so sorry, guys. Select it one more time. Type CO for copy. Select the right corner. I was right the first time. And then we're gonna bring it to our outside line. And these lines, we're gonna select all four, go in our properties, and we're gonna make this line width 0, 0. As we did with this one right here, our outside lines, which our guidelines are on the outside, is for our landscape view, to fold our landscape paper. Now we're gonna do also the same thing, but in the height. So here we're gonna draw a line 5 millimeters long. Select it. Type M for move, press space, and then click any corner. And then we're gonna make this 297. So select the line again. The width will be 0.00. So here we have our outside ticks, and this same one we're gonna copy it. CO space, our top corner or end, and click it here all the way to the top. So here we have our helpful tick lines to fold the paper correctly, and we have our border inside and outside line for our margins. Now we select everything together and then type BL for block. Click on block. This one will be called border underscore A2. Pick your point, that would be your right bottom corner, and the rest will be good, and click OK. So here then we select the block itself and we put this under the layer of border. Oh guys, see, this is one mistake. We have not set our outside line to be 0.00. So that in this case, you would just select your block and right click and then press block editor, select your outside line and go to your properties and then go to width and click on 0, 0. Escape, close the block editor, save the changes, and there you have it. It is thin as possible, as thin as AutoCAD can make the line. So it won't print. As after you have the size, you will barely see the line, which is good. You don't want to see outside line. You just want to see your inside line for your margins. Now let's go to our A1 paper. That is 594 by 841. And we're gonna do the same again. Our rectangle, extend, 594 by tab 841. Enter. Let's double check. 594, 841. Good. And let's double check here again. 594, 841. Okay. I'm sorry I'm checking so much time, guys, but this is very important, and I advise you to take your time while you're making these things, because these is things that you won't ever have to make again. Once you set it up correctly, you won't ever have to make this again. Now you make your offset, click on your offset again, press space after it is 10 millimeters, space. Now it will ask you to select what do you want to offset. I want to offset my rectangle inside, not outside but inside. Click inside and then escape. Here I want to make this line width 0, 0. The other one is by layer. That is good. Now we're going to do the same again. What would be helpful if you would, here in your draw, it have this line, it names construction, it is named construction line. If we click on this, here we can draw construction line, and these are helpful lines. Since the A4 paper is always the same, here you can go on your A4 paper and just draw a line. This is my construction line. It's a helpful line. Click on type CO, press space, and then copy it again to 597. And one more time, copy 297. Sorry guys, 297. So here we can see that our ticks are going right here. So it is very easier to see where it's supposed to go. So now if we draw our helpful guiding ticks, this one is going to be 5 millimeters. That way, 5 millimeters this way. Enter. When you press space after you have drawn a line, AutoCAD will remember what was your last command. So when you press space, it will go back to drawing a line. So all you gotta do is press space, and then it will automatically go to the last command that you already had. So here, 5 millimeters, enter, escape, and then space. You see, it go back to the line command. So you click here, and then 5 millimeters, right, enter. And the rest, it would just be rest. So in the A1 paper, we have three folds horizontally. And then here you have in this corner, let's see, those are my inside lines, sorry. So it is from this corner. So here we have 5 millimeters, select it, bring it M for move the line that way, and A4 paper is 210 width. So here we have our 210. You can also select this line, and instead of moving it or copying it, you can also mirror it. So if you click on mirror, it will ask you what is your mirror line, meaning the line you want to mirror to the other side. I will select the center, midpoint, and then you bring it whatever way. You can either bring it this way or that way. It doesn't matter. As you can see, look. You see that line that is going? It is copying my tick line. So then I just would select, bring it left or right, doesn't matter. Click. Now it will ask you if you want to erase this line. I would say no, of course. I want to keep the other line. So then I will have my two lines. So it will be positioned in the right corner, in the right place, opposite mirror to this one. So now I select both lines, type in CO for copy, press space, and then click anywhere in your screen, and then bring it across again 210 millimeters. Press enter. So now here we have our fold. You would have to fold this paper in 2 times, which is 3 sides, and 2 times this way is also 3 sides. So now that was folding in our portrait um, orientation. Now we also want to be able to fold in our landscape orientation. Kind of hard to see when it's rotated this way, but it's not impossible. Here we will start our line 5 millimeters again, select it, and in this direction, M for move, it will be 210, enter. And just the same way, we will also mirror this one to the other side, center, and then drag it down, press again, and no, I do not want to erase the other line. So this will be in this direction, it will be mirrored. It will be folded 210 going that way. So now we will copy these 2 lines. No, first of all, sorry, before I copy these 2 lines, I want to make it 0.00 so I can tell the difference between our landscape view tick lines and our portrait view tick lines or guidelines or fold guidelines. So we will copy this one. It doesn't matter where you click, just as long as you select those two, type CO for copy, and now it asks you to click your base point, which is anywhere on your screen, and then we will copy it up, and it will be 210. And then also 420. 2 times 210 is 420. So here we can see that our paper in our landscape view will be folded 3 times, so then you would have 4 sides. And also this way, it will also be folded, of course. So we draw our line 5 millimeters, enter, select, M for move, space, click anywhere on your screen, and then displace your line to 297. Select that line again. The width will be 0.00. I'm gonna mirror it again to the other side. No, I do not want to erase, and it will be here. So our paper will be folded once in landscape view. So now if we select all of this, make sure you select everything, BL for block, space, border, underscore A1, pick points, right bottom corner, okay. Select the block itself and put it under the layer block. As you can see, everything is good because the inside line is thicker than the outside line. Of course, this is just my preference. Now let's do our last border. That will be the A0 border. And that will be 841 by 1189. Let's go back to our drawing once more. Extend 841, tab 1189. And then we will offset the outside line 10 millimeters, so then space, click inside, escape. Now our lines once more on the inside. This one would be 5 millimeters, 5 millimeters. And then we will copy this a couple times. Copy, CO, corner or end, and we will copy it all every time we have a construction line. Our construction layer very helpful. Okay, these you can now delete because you won't need them anymore. We have all our heights for all our paper sizes. Now we will do, let's see. So this is the height of the A4, and now we will do the width. And the width we will do here 5 millimeters. Enter. Select it. Move. And here we will be 210. This line we want to mirror it to the other side. Enter, enter. Now we will select both lines, CO for copy, and we will do 210. 2 times 210 is 420. Enter. So here you can see it will be folded 4 times, 3 times, which is 4 sides, and here it will be folded also 3 times, which is also 4 sides. Then you will get something like this. Of course, this is a landscape view, so it is actually the opposite. So now we will also make our ticks for our landscape view, and you will begin in this corner going that way. This one will be also 5 millimeters. Escape, select your line, M for move, space, and click wherever. And now we will do the width of 210. This line right here, we want to mirror it to the other side. Just a center, mirror, click. No, I do not want to delete the source. Now select these 2 lines, and first of all, before we copy it, we want to make it the width of 0.00. CO for copy, and we want to copy a couple times, so it will be copied 210 first, and then 420, and then 630, and I think one more time that will be 840. So here we can see our ticks on the outer rectangle for our landscape view is also set. Now let's do this also on the other side. 5 millimeters high, escape, select the line, press or type move M. Now the height of the A4 will be 297. Enter. I will also mirror this to the other side. And of course, before I copy it a couple times, I'm going to select it once more, and I will change the width to 0.00. So now I will CO, copy it, space, and I want to copy it 2.97 millimeters to the right. So here we have our last paper size. So now we will select everything, type BL for block, press enter. This one will be called border underscore AO, capital A0. Pick point will be the right bottom corner, and OK. Now let's make this also in the layer border. Once more, did it again. Edit the block, select your outer line, and set this to 0.00, and save this one. So here we can see all our borders. This is our A4, A3, A3, A2, A1, and A0 border. So these are your border you will be using in the next tutorial, not in the next tutorial, but in a future tutorial for our template that we will also be making. So guys, that was it for now. I hope you liked this video. I hope it was very informative, and I hope I showed you also that it's very important to have your border set forehand so that it will be nice and neat as I showed you in this drawing. And also how handy it is to have your ticks so that you can fold these paper without having to use a folding machine. So guys, I will see you on my next video. The next video will be our title block. So I will see you on my next video so that we can make our title block, so we can complete everything in our basics, so that we can also make our template. Bye guys for now. See you next time.